Good morning everyone, I am Angel, welcome to the channel. After about a month of being absent, I am here showing you this historical novel, The Sacred Fire, by Peruvian writer Yilmer Ticona Flores, a professional in education and engineering, who published his first novel out of the blue 2 years ago, and this, The Sacred Fire, has been published this year by Editorial Apogeo. In 352 pages, this novel is an account of one of the most infamous periods of our Republican history. The time frame goes between 1905 and 1929, but the very roots of this question go back as early as the beginning of the War of the Pacific. This is the testimony or memoir of Asunta Maldonado Segura, who was born in 1895 and died in 1978. I believed it was a fictional character, but no, it is a real character. She's a heroine who was born in the territories that were to be occupied by the Chilean army. In this case, the region of Tacna, specifically the province of Locumba. That occupation was suffered every single day, as there was a forced acculturation process called Chilenization, which involved violent acts like murder, intimidation, rape, even deportation. Every Peruvian who had a desire or an intention to preserve the love for our culture and for our nation was to be forced to leave. Many other Chileans arrived. All of that is history, and we know it more or less. What I consider innovative is that history condensed in the personal view of a woman who was a victim of different types of discrimination. She was a black woman, she was a woman, and above all, she was Peruvian. Coming back to the topic, those Peruvians who attempted to preserve the Peruvian unity were intimidated or even murdered. We can mention the character of Father Francisco, a priest, or Miss Silvia, a teacher who taught children in a illegal way because Peruvian schools were made illegal. On the other hand, that was a time in which it was difficult to trust the other. In the meetings that the Peruvian patriots had, there was a woman, Doña Eufemia, who supposedly was an honest Peruvian woman. However, she was a spy, and she gave information of everything that was said and planned in those meetings to the Chileans. Another example of that difficulty to be in one position or in the other, those limits were kind of blurred at times, because one of the sons of the matrona, the lady who had a type of canteen, his name was Avelino. That was a young man who in the end was seduced by the Chilenization process. From a personal perspective, we might not judge her. She even believed that she sacrificed her children for the sake of our country. Was she a bad mother? At times that was what she questioned herself. She called herself cautiva, which meant captive. And it's very, very nice to see how gradually she goes from just wish to actions. She became a heroine. If you Google her name, Asunta Maldonado, you will probably find nothing but this book and previous reviews on this. We end up forgetting the many anonymous heroes and heroines who fought to restore the honor of Peru. Since this is a historical novel, I don't think that there would be a problem if I tell you the end, that Arica became Chilean and Tacna went back to Peru in the 1920s. It's really moving, to experience by reading those mixed feelings that the Peruvians in Tacna had. The happiness to be able to sing the national anthem and to see our flag in public places, but at the same time the many families that were divided forever, perhaps. Another topic that I would like to highlight is how many things have changed for the better and how many things remain. As an Afro-Peruvian woman, there are countless episodes of discrimination based on her race. Also, the discrimination because of being a woman. And in this case, not only she was the victim, but every type of women. Since they were women, they could not vote, because they were women, they were vulnerable to rape, etc. And above all, the discrimination for being Peruvian. We can see these three aspects embodied in just one person who had to suffer, but in spite of that, she fought. And last but not least, I would like to rescue the fact that the writer, Mr. Ticona, is from Ilo, located in Moquegua, and he also clarifies or explains some words that are mentioned in the dialogues. One of the many things that I like about this book is that language, full of regional words, full of that dialect. He has already presented this book in different fairs, as far as I know, and he's going to present it in the Feria del Bicentenario on the 27th. I really invite you to get this book, because this will give you a totally different perspective of the war and the post-war period, totally different from what we have read in our history books at school, perhaps. Bye-bye.